Oh yeah, I can.
Palette, that
Is that good?
forgot we were live.
Yeah, we're live. Actually, we're live right now.
Hey. I don't believe you.
Okay, well, take off your shirt and get comfortable.
I love Scotch.
Oh,
Scotch
please
is-
don't.
No, nobody needs to see that. Nobody needs
Please
to see
don't.
Scared myself in the mirror the other day.
I'm sure we'll get banned from YouTube.
Permanent ban.
Yep. So welcome everybody. This is December's live stream. Welcome to Screenwrite. If you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe. Hit the like button so everybody can see our cool content that we have. We got some neat stuff that we're going to go over today. We're going to talk about some movie news that happened over the course of the month of December. We're going to talk a little bit about the 3 movies that we reviewed over December, which was what was it? Christmas Story Christmas, the Gingerdead Man, and Fatman.
Yeah.
They're all starting to run together at this point. And then we're going to talk about some of the movies that we're going to review over the course of January. So I thought it'd be nice to maybe start with a little bit of maybe somewhat sad news just to kind of get it out of the way. I think all of us on the show are great admirers of Mr. John Williams. He hasn't died yet.
Yeah. No,
Get
he
it
hasn't
out of the
died
way. This is not a
Knock on wood.
a memoriam or anything like that. Um, so no breaking news there. But what it is though is he's basically come out and said that he's going to be retiring very very soon, and by very very soon I mean he is either picking the Fablemans movie, Steven Spielberg's latest release that was just released a couple weeks ago or a week ago, something like that.
Yeah.
To be his last film, or he's going to be Indiana Jones 5. So that news was before Fablemans came out. So obviously Fablemans is already out, and we know that John Williams is already attached to Indiana Jones 5. So
Yeah.
Indiana Jones 5 is going to be his last film, most likely. It's still kind of up in the
sad day.
air.
Yeah. Pretty sad that he's 91 years old.
That's
and it's
true.
like his first movie composition was 1958. The movie Daddy-O. What a title for 58. Hey, Daddy-O. But yeah, this guy has composed a ton of stuff. It's amazing how much he's composed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and when you
pretty
think
much
about
any movie that you can think of that was like, oh yeah, that's a great movie. That's a great movie. It's his music.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Really.
Yeah. Actually, I just watched The Fablemans last night. It's okay.
Really?
It's I'll just leave it at that. But there's I can talk about it if you want, but there's basically it's like a autobiographical thing of Spielberg, like growing up and learning to love movies and how he worked on movies and all that when he was a kid and all that stuff. And there's a specific scene where he is filming his war movie that he made when he was a kid, and he's editing it together, and he's like, oh, just or not war movie, sorry, it says his western he made when he was a kid, and he's just like, oh, it just looks fake, like the kids are just doing this with guns, and he's like, it just looks fake. And then he got the idea to put, oh, well, what's missing is music. So
yeah.
he throws music over top of it, and it makes the scene kind of come alive and makes it more exciting and all that stuff. And so my whole point with this little story is that that's John Williams's. I don't think Spielberg's movies would be half as good without John Williams's help there.
Yeah, quite a possibility. Just because music does carry the film quite a lot. Yeah, it changes the scene. If you actually try to watch a movie just on mute, it's terrible. Like you lose all depth on what the scene is actually trying to actually produce and actually show you, and it takes both of your senses, sight and hearing.
And if I'm not mistaken, I believe all but one of John Williams' 5 Oscar wins are Spielberg movies.
Oh,
Wow.
really? Do you have his 5 that he's won Oscars?
Yeah, he's won. Let's see, Schindler's List,
of course.
Jaws,
I think, right?
I'm going through them right now. Jaws, E.T.
For JP or no?
Star Wars.
Oh, yeah, Star Wars, of course.
And oh gosh, what was the first one? Fiddler on the Roof.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah, so not Jurassic Park apparently.
Not
Wow.
Jurassic Park. Yeah.
that is surprising.
Um,
Jurassic Park is awesome.
I wonder who won against Jurassic Park.
When you
It also
think
has
about
just that iconic music in it too.
yeah,
No, I know.
well, I was gonna
And-
think Jaws. You know, when you think about it, like he won an Oscar for hitting like 2 keys over and
Yeah,
over.
two notes.
Dude.
Oscar, please.
Yeah.
Right?
Can I get 2 Oscars for that?
Why? Because I'm John Williams. That's why.
Yeah, one for
Yeah.
each note.
Yeah, one for each note. One for each. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
so-
you hear him every 4, or actually every 2 years with the Olympics too. He wrote the Olympics theme song, so it's like you hear his music outside of just movies. I mean, you hear him in TV shows, you hear him in live sporting events, you hear him every single night if you actually watch the NBC News. It's he wrote the NBC theme song, so it's like every night, every day, he's actually out there. So this dude's a legend.
I wonder if he's still getting royalties every time that.
Oh,
If
I
he
bet
if
he
he is, I would think he would be the richest man alive. But I don't. I think it was like a one signed check. Like, here you go. We'll use it as many times as we want. Thank
He
you.
might just be getting a penny per play or something. I don't know.
Ooh,
You know,
that's-
kind of
that's
like
a
what
lot.
Spotify pays artists.
Yeah. Well, that's
Which
like
I think they're
half
actually-
a percent or something,
Yeah, I
or
think
half
they're
a
even
penny.
lower than that. I think they're like 0.1% or something. Yeah.
It's like the gas tax, the 9/10 of a cent or something like that. It's 1/10 of a cent.
Yeah. So yeah, so that's basically our John Williams news. He's retiring very, very soon. I hope all the best to him though. You know, he is
Yes.
91. You know, I don't know if we mentioned it yet or not.
Yeah.
But he's getting up there in his age. He said that it takes about a little bit longer than 6 months to compose the score for a movie.
A well worth retirement.
It takes a lot of his
Sure.
time. So
Yeah.
I think he's just ready to kind of chillax.
Yeah.
Spend
And,
what time he has left with his family.
Yeah, right. Speaking of Jurassic Park, he wasn't even nominated for Jurassic Park.
Oh.
Shame.
But had he been nominated for Jurassic Park, he would have lost to himself because he won for Schindler's List.
Oh, that's right.
Oh.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot that was the same year. Yeah.
Oh.
Well, you got to play.
I wonder if that was a quality reason, or can you not be nominated two times?
Oh
for
no,
the
you
same
could be
award?
nominated. He was nominated 3 times in 1 year
For
in
the same
96.
award?
Yeah, and actually 4 times. My bad, 4 times.
So they just showed him in all 4 boxes.
Yeah.
Well, it was. I guess so.
that would be hilarious.
I-
Oh, no,
that was
4
probably
out of the 5
before
boxes.
before they had the
Online. No,
clause split.
it is 3 times. I just the website messed me up.
Oh.
Yeah, he was in '96. He was nominated for Sabrina, and for original song. Then he was nominated for original musical or comedy score for Sabrina, and also dramatic score for Nixon.
Oh, I think
Oh,
what
okay.
Rowan's
Okay.
saying is
Like in the
Since-
same category.
same
In the
category.
same category. Oh,
Yeah.
oh.
So
No,
basically, like
you
3
can.
nominations for
You
for
can
a
actually.
movie.
I'm just looking just randomly here. 2006, he was nominated for Memoirs of Geisha
oh, yeah, Memoirs of Vacation.
for Best Achievement in Music Written for Motion Pictures, and the same award for Munich.
Oh, okay,
Interesting.
interesting.
And then again in 2012 for Adventures of Tintin and Warhorse. It's crazy.
I really
So
like
talented.
Warhorse. A lot of people don't, but I like that movie.
It's really
Yeah.
long.
It is kind of long.
Need to see if. So I assume he's at every Oscars. I wonder if he's got his own reserve table. Need to go back and watch some of the Oscars and see if he's like always
Yeah.
sitting in the same place.
Yeah, let's see.
I don't remember.
Nothing in
actually seeing him.
2019. Nothing in
I mean, I haven't-
2019. So
I
he
haven't
didn't
watched
count.
the Oscars in a long time, so
I watched it last year for the first time in probably 3 or 4 years.
yeah.
And
it
that
all
happened to be the
really
one
depends.
that Will Smith slapped a dude.
I
you
know,
know?
right? It all really depends on if there's a movie that I really want to see. If it wins anything, that's when I'll tune in.
I don't
but-
even watch them.
Even if it gets nominated, I'll watch it just to see if it wins.
I don't agree. I just don't. I mean, I don't watch them simply because it's not necessarily it's not necessarily the talent that gets you there.
Mhm.
It's the he's been nominated 10 times, so we felt sorry for him type thing.
Yeah,
Like
sometimes.
yeah,
when
maybe.
Denzel Washington won for Training Day.
Oh yeah,
It's like, okay, that was not the best performance that year, obviously, and people actually said, well, he deserved it.
Didn't the same thing happen with Leo, right? And the movie, what's the bear
Revenant.
movie? Remnant? Or
Not
The
Revenant.
Revenant,
But
Yeah, not
yeah.
Revenant. That's a video game.
Not, I don't know. I mean,
I don't know.
yeah,
I think
because he
Leo
barely
actually
speaks in
got.
Revenant. He has like 20 lines or something, and it's towards the end, or I don't remember. But
Yeah, I think Leo got kind of pushed over on a lot of the other films that he acted in. It's like you should have won an Oscar for a lot of other things before
agree
that
with
movie.
hmm Well, so moving on. So we do have one person who did pass away. One notable person was Kirstie Alley.
Yeah.
She passed away at 71 with a short battle with colon cancer. It was they briefly, she just found out about it, and then she passed away a couple weeks later.
Yeah.
So it must have been like an advanced stage that they didn't know about or something.
Mhm.
Not too much information about it, but if you don't know who Kirstie Alley is, what Cheers, a lot of TV stuff, a lot of great
Yeah.
things. But
Look who's
films,
talking.
yeah, Look Who's Talking,
Wrath of Khan.
Wrath of Khan, yeah, Star Trek Wrath of Khan,
I thought
the
she
best
was.
Star
I
Trek
thought
movie.
she was. Yeah, I thought she was a really good actress.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
didn't.
absolutely.
I mean, I didn't really see her in a whole lot of things except for what we just talked about. But
I mean, For Richer or Poor, I loved her in that. That was really good with Tim Allen, where they her and Tim Allen are the married couple. They're the high profile New York City married couple, and they have to go on the lam. They have to hide from the IRS,
Oh
and they
yeah, I
wind up
remember
in
that.
Amish country,
That's right.
and they pretend to be Amish. Yeah, it was a pretty. I enjoyed that film. That film in particular with her in it.
Yeah, I remember probably about 5-6 years ago, whatever. Netflix added all of Cheers on there, and I'd actually never seen the show. And I was like, yeah, you know what? I'll give it a shot. Like after like 2 episodes, I was hooked, and
Mhm.
I like binged the entire series over the course of a few weeks.
Yeah.
I'm
And-
not sure I liked it as much as you did, but I did agree it aged better than I thought because on your
Mhm.
recommendation, I watched a few episodes and the laugh tracks that's tough to get through. But a lot of shows you go watch from that time and they're unwatchable. But Cheers, it was good.
Well, it's like
it was a quality show.
Seinfeld. Yeah, like
Yeah.
Seinfeld has a laugh track in it. It's filmed
Yeah, it
in
holds
front
up.
of a studio audience.
Yeah. So Kirstie Alley has passed away.
So PSA, go get checked. If you're of that age, go get checked. Past
Yeah.
40, go get checked.
Yep.
Every other year. Please.
Sad.
Yep. So the other thing I wanted to mention was I think we're all Christopher Nolan fans on the show, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He's got
Oh, yeah,
some
okay.
slow
Sure,
ones.
why
but-
not?
Yeah. Sure, why not?
I enjoy his films.
Well, so he has a new movie coming out in 2023. It's called Oppenheimer. It's starring Cillian Murphy. They finally have a release date of it. The trailer just dropped like yesterday, I think. So the release date for it is July 21st, 2023. So we still got a ways to go for it. I'm a big Christopher Nolan fan, so I'm always on, I always anticipate his movies, kind of just waiting for him to come out. I always look forward to him. That's what the phrase I was trying to look for.
Yeah, it's got a. I mean, the trailer when I watched it, I didn't really. I know who Oppenheimer is, and but I mean, the trailer just was like, okay, here's our first cut. Here's a lot of shots of the atomic bomb exploding, and a lot of fire, but nothing really explaining like, is it a documentary, like a narrated documentary? Is it more of a like a personal struggles type movie? But I didn't see a whole lot of other people in it, but there's a lot of good actors in it. Robert Downey
sure
Jr. You got
Emily Blunt.
Emily Blunt, Gary Oldman, Rami Malek.
Cillian Murphy's in like what 5 or 6 of Nolan's movies. He's in a bunch of Nolan movies.
Oh yeah, he's Nolan's go-to guy.
But yeah, Matt Damon, Kenneth Branagh.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, this might actually have a cast that's pretty good.
Man, as much as I love Nolan movies, I think they're great. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Didn't like Tenet though, so I didn't like his last movie.
Exactly.
So I'm hoping this is going.
Yeah,
This is
I mean,
gonna
that's a
make up
pretty
for Tenet.
cool. That's a pretty cool poster.
it is. Well, I do like that.
But
mean, don't look too much into the atomic bomb, but
yeah. No, Kyle,
unless you got
I'm
the
with
cool,
you.
the cool shades.
I'm with you. I saw the trailer. I was super excited when I saw that it dropped. But about halfway through, I'm like, this is not telling me anything really about the movie. So I'm wondering if it is like a historical, factual kind of thing. You know, it's him
Yeah.
creating the bomb, the Manhattan Project, and all that stuff. You know, or does this go a little Nolan-esque, and does it kind of play around with history a little bit, or
Mhm.
who knows? We don't know. Have to watch it and find out, I guess. It looks visually stunning, like every Nolan movie does.
Yes.
And I did read where he they did the mushroom cloud practically, not with an atomic bomb, but there was an article about how they actually did it, which was kind of cool.
Yeah, they did it with a small atomic explosion, apparently.
Yeah.
Which, if you think about it,
We're
you're
just splitting
giving
a few
filmmakers
atoms here.
atomic bombs now. That's what we're doing in films now.
Yeah. Maybe
Well,
not
the
a
movie
good idea.
industry's hurting, Justin. They gotta they have to sell tickets, man.
Which that's something that I do. That's one of the reasons I like Nolan. He's sticking to practical over CGI, which
Mhm.
I always prefer. So that's one reason. That's one reason I'm looking forward to all of his movies. So I'm looking forward to Oppenheimer. Might be a good movie. I don't know. I'm a fan of Cillian Murphy, so we'll see.
Yeah, and to
If-
have Gary Oldman as Harry S. Truman, that's going to be kind of interesting because
Mhm.
I mean, I love Gary Oldman.
Well, he's a great character actor. If anybody can do it, he can.
Yeah, he could be this really smart, intelligent guy and a drug dealer at the same time, and you wouldn't even know that it was the same dude.
Yeah.
Do you think if we can't understand the dialogue in this movie, he's just going to tell us our speakers suck?
Yes.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I
I
didn't.
don't think
see
anybody's
any-
wearing masks or anything.
Yeah,
in
that's what I
Oppenheimer.
was gonna say. I don't think there's anybody wearing masks. Just crazy goggles. So maybe it's the goggle movie instead of the mask
Yeah,
movie.
yeah, and I'm just sitting here looking through the cast list. Yeah, like somebody mentioned, yeah, Emily Blunt, Robert Downey Jr., Matt Damon's in it.
Yeah.
Kenneth Branagh. I love Kenneth Branagh.
Right.
Who was in Nolan's Dunkirk movie.
Yep.
Remember, he was the naval captain or whatever.
He's like the admiral or something.
Yeah, the admiral or whatever.
Well, he was in Tenet too, wasn't he? Wasn't he in that?
I don't
remember
think he
him
was
in
in that
Tenet.
one.
But could have been. Yeah, Rami Malek is in it. One of the Skarsgårds. Josh Hartnett. Remember that name? Does anybody remember Josh Hartnett?
I do.
He's in there.
Wait,
Casey Affleck. Tons of people. So yeah.
Huh.
So I'm looking forward to Tenet. Or not Tenet. No. I'm going back in time
Oppenheimer.
now. I'm
Yeah.
going reverse. I'm
No, I
looking
can
forward to
still
Oppenheimer.
understand you if you're going reverse. Anyway.
Yeah, so I mean, it basically just says the story of American scientist J. Robert Oppenheimer and his role in the development of the atomic bomb. So I'm assuming it's just going to be historically factual, kind of dramatic thing here.
Yeah.
So, looking forward to it.
So Avatar came out this past weekend.
That is
did
right.
Did you guys know that?
I did.
I didn't know it actually came out.
I'm sure I did at one point, but
Well,
It's-
and one of the actors that played somebody like a captain of something. Let's see, was it Eddie Falco? He's like, I thought it already released and flopped because they shot it so long ago. And he's like,
Mhm.
oh, I didn't realize that it just released this weekend. So he was General Francis Ardmore. He was a new military commander on Pandora. But yeah, I guess since they shot it so long ago that he forgot that it even hadn't been released yet. He's
Yeah,
already been paid.
Well, I saw that Avatar 2, what is it, The Way of Water, that it made globally like something like 435 million.
Yeah. This didn't flop. It got, from my understanding, I know some people that went to go see it opening day, which I believe was like last week before the weekend.
Mhm.
Said it was fun. You know, they said they liked it as much as the first one.
Yeah, it made
Nothing-
134 million in America, which
Yeah.
the only reason they're considering it a flop is because it was estimated to make 175 opening. So they're a little
I
bit
mean, what's
short of
20
that.
mil, right?
Yeah. I mean, well, got to remember 2009 when the original came out, you know, people are probably watching
Right.
a show that wasn't even born when the first one came out. um, they made like 22 million opening weekend, so you have to adjust for inflation, so whatever that is.
Right.
But then it kicked off, you know, then word of mouth kicked in, and then it eventually made something like $3 billion in the box office, you know,
Yeah.
over its theater run. So that could be the same thing that might be happening. It might be 134 million still. If I made a movie that was 134 million, I'd be happy, you know.
Yeah, me
But
too.
I'm
Yeah.
not James Cameron, though. I'm not like one of the most financially successful
Right.
movie directors of all time.
James Cameron.
So I assume it will climb a little bit after word of mouth after this weekend, since it was just released. I'd say,
Yeah, because I think a lot of people just forgot that it was still being worked on and still being made. And it's like, oh, here it is. It's just released.
I think
Because
a
I
lot of
didn't
people
see a
don't
whole lot of
give a
commercials
shit.
on it. Oh, I didn't see any trailers on it. Like the only time
Yeah.
that I knew of a trailer was I think it was a couple episodes back. We
We talked
during
about it
our
on the last live stream.
Patreon. Yeah. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. I didn't realize that it was already, because wasn't he working on 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 or something like that at the same time?
2 and 3 at the same time. Yeah,
Yeah.
You know, this is going on to 5.
depends.
Oh yeah. Well, he's flat out said, he said after the first one, he's like, the only movies I'm gonna make now are Avatar.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all he cares about. He did also come out and say that this movie has to make $2 billion. That's with a B.
Jesus.
At the box office in order to break even.
Probably
Wow.
to pay for 3, 4, and 5. Because you got
I
to
think
have
they're only
money.
doing 2 and 3. I think they're only doing 3 total. But
Are you sure?
no, I'm not positive. But
Okay.
I know they did 2, and I know they worked on 2 and 3 together.
Huh.
So a big thing with the first one was it really promoted a lot of 3D movies. I haven't heard anyone
Yes.
say like you need to watch this in 3D. I know it's like it's playing in it's like
I-
standard IMAX 3D. It's playing in a bunch of different formats, and I haven't heard anyone say anything about the 3D experience. So
I am 100% positive that is the sole reason that Avatar did as well as it did in 2009.
the
Because 3D came out, and then you also had the DLP technology that was hitting the theaters, and it was just this bright screen with 3D coming at you, and that's what everybody told me. Is like, if you see it, you have to see it in 3D. You have to see it in 3D. I'm like, okay. It is what it is. You know, I mean, it's a 3D movie. Is 3D cool? Yeah. But is it mostly a selling tactic? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It
Mhm.
really is.
Yeah.
And if you look at the history of 3D and filmmaking and movie history, if you look at it, it has like a resurgence. It has this like this every 15 years, it kind of comes back in popularity. It kind of does this little rolling wave thing. And 2009-ish, 2010, it was coming back up. Now it went back down. I
Yeah.
suspect
Look at-
in another 10 years, 15 years or something, it'll come back up probably. But
Look at all the new model televisions out on the market.
Exactly.
None of them are 3D.
yep.
Yeah. It's
And
I
that
think
follows that trend.
I think the 4K, 8K, 12K thing has actually been more important than actually like 3D.
Well, they had 8K back in 09 when 3D was starting to really take off, because they released it in the theater.
Mhm.
Everybody dropped the whole 8K research and went to 3D because that was the selling point.
Right.
And now they're back on the 8K. I think I've even heard rumor they're going to just skip over the next gen and just kind of do what Apple's doing and just go 2-3 steps ahead.
Yeah. Probably.
they're going to have to. I mean, the technology is going to. It's by the time they come out with it, it's going to be old. It's going to be 2-3 years old.
I want to say the technology peaked with My Bloody Valentine 3D. I don't know if you guys remember that movie.
Yes,
it came
I
out
do.
right around when Avatar came out.
Yeah, I do remember that.
I enjoyed the movie more than Avatar. That's not a good movie, but I enjoyed it more.
You saw it in 3D.
Yeah, that was a whole draw to it. It was like a
Yeah.
3D horror.
So you get to
movie.
see like the axe.
The
being,
axe
like,
is that's like a
Gotta see it in
trailer.
4D. Gotta actually get hit
Oh
with
yeah,
the
where you
blood
actually get
and-
killed. And
Yeah.
that's a good one.
Everybody has a
Blood gets
hatchet thrown
splattered
at you
all
or
over you.
something.
Have you guys seen that John Goodman movie where he plays the theater owner, the who invents 4D? What's the name of that movie?
I do remember
Um,
something about that.
That's a really good
but
movie.
While you're looking that up, I
Matinee?
did see on IMDb.
Yeah, Matinee.
If you look up Avatar, it has slots for Avatar 4 and 5.
Is it really?
Yep. So I'm pretty sure. I mean, Avatar 4 2026, and then Avatar 5 2028.
Yep.
So it's on the list. I don't know if it'll last, but yeah, you got 5 avatars or 3 more avatars coming your way.
Oh, lovely.
So this is probably why he has to make $2 billion to be even, just because he's making 3, 4, and 5 at the same time, probably.
Yeah. That John
they've
Goodman
already-
movie is Matinee from 1993. Highly recommend it. It's a very fun movie. It's a factual movie about the guy who started up his own theater where he kind of invented 4D kind of thing. So like when there's like a wave scene, like an ocean scene on screen, they'd shoot, mist of water at you and all that stuff. It's a really fun movie. Actually, I might watch that a little bit later.
So it's a fat John Goodman.
Oh yeah, it was 1993, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was at
They
his
have
peak.
that at Disney, right? Can't you do that at Disney? I
Oh,
saw
yeah.
some
Oh,
Journey
yeah.
to the Center of the Earth with Brandon Fraser that was in 4D, and they like just squirt like water and
There's a
air
lot
on
of
you. It's
there's a
stupid.
lot of 4D stuff. There's like the Bug's Life in Animal Kingdom where a stink bug starts farting or something like that, and you start smelling like rotten eggs. And
God.
Yeah, lovely.
The first one I remember as a kid was at Universal with Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
oh yeah,
They had that, and I
was a
remember, I
good one.
distinctly
Yeah.
remember at the end, the dog is like sniffing you whenever you're little, and
Yeah.
he sneezes, and all this water comes in. The whole audience just
you think
freaks
it's
out.
snot, like
Oh yeah, it was great.
that's how movie theaters should be. That should be 4D.
They really should.
One
Well,
more
I was
thing.
hoping the seats would take off. The seats they have.
I
at
don't
some
want
of
them
the
to take
theaters.
off.
No, not literally take off. But I mean the seats that move and have their own speakers built into them.
And where they
Yeah.
jostle your
I thought
balls
those were pretty
around
cool.
a movie. Nah, no. Thank you.
Maybe not.
Yeah. So one more thing I wanted to mention. Lethal Weapon 5. They're working
Yeah.
on it apparently.
Yep.
So they're Mel Gibson's back, Danny Glover's back. They're reprising their roles. They're both almost 90 years old or something.
No.
I'm kidding. But they posted a promotional picture of the two of them in their cop car.
And Mel Gibson does not look that old in there. He kind of looks like he went through a little Botox operation.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
Danny
sure he
Glover
did.
looks pretty good too. But didn't Danny Glover have like a stroke or something? Like,
No, I
Where-
don't
where
think
he-
so.
it's like very hard to understand him now. Or am I thinking of a
No.
different?
No, I
guy.
mean you're. I don't know
Not-
why, but yes, in the movies I've seen him in recently, it's hard to understand him.
No, he didn't have a stroke.
Okay.
That's just
I
old
just think
age.
he's getting tired.
And he's getting too old for this
He's getting
shit.
too-
Oh, God.
Thank you. See, I toss it out there, and Kyle just hits it out of the park.
I weirdly associate Danny
Unlike Coach
Glover
Entry.
with the Saw movies for some reason. I mean, he's in them obviously, but that's
Mhm.
like not close to the most famous he's ever done. But every time I see him, I picture him as the detective in the Saw movies.
Oh, that's right. He was a detective. Yeah, I was trying to place him.
He's like going crazy from the start. I feel like,
Yeah.
maybe this is the first Saw movie he's in, but when you showed that picture, I was like, oh, that's exactly what he looks like in the Saw movie.
Oh,
Which
he
was
does have
20 years ago or something.
Yeah, seriously, 20 years.
Danny Glover does have epilepsy though.
Maybe that's what it is. I remember there
He
was some
hasn't-
medical condition that happened where it like affected his speech somehow.
Well, he hasn't had a seizure since age 35. So
Maybe that was not it then. Okay.
yeah, he's
Well-
76 right now. So
76.
Yeah. getting
Okay.
up there.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about the three movies that we reviewed back in December. Remember that was A Christmas Story Christmas, The Gingerdead Man, and Fatman. So what I'd like to do real quick is we talked about whether we would recommend or not recommend each one. We all recommended Christmas Story Christmas, if I remember correctly. I did not write this stuff down. I'm trying to go by memory. Is that right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then I believe we also all recommended The Gingerdead Man,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
However, we dissented when it came to Fat Man, the other Mel Gibson movie that we watched. I think Rowan, you were the dissenting opinion about that. I think the other three of us we recommended it. So what I want to do is over the three movies, we recommended each movie individually, but what I'd be curious to know is over those three movies, which one was your favorite that we did over the month of December? Does anyone want to jump ahead and kick it off?
I would definitely say Fat Man was probably my favorite. I think I enjoyed that one the most. Close second would probably be The Gingerdead Man, and then third Christmas Story Christmas. There's my top three in order.
Yeah. John, how about you? I'll pick somebody.
I'm gonna vary slightly. Fat Man definitely number one for me. Love Mel Gibson. I like grizzly Mel Gibson. You know, I really like his old age acting. Let's put it that way.
Mhm.
Number two, I think would be for me A Christmas Story Christmas. Because I love the nostalgia feel to it. I watch the original every year. So
Right.
so interesting enough, I have a story about that. So I'm riding in the car with my brother-in-law this weekend, and he's like, man, and he goes, what have you reviewed recently? Because he doesn't ever get a chance to really sit down and watch the show.
We have
And
a podcast.
Did you?
I know that's
immediately
what
punch him?
I said, look, dude, you can listen to it in the car. I've seen you do it. So so anyway, I I told him, I was like, oh, we did A Christmas Story Christmas, and and he goes, I tried to watch that second one, and it was just not good. And he goes, I got 10 minutes in, and I shut it off. Did you watch A Christmas Story 2, or did you watch A Christmas Story Christmas? He goes, oh, I watched the one with Daniel Stern. I'm like, no, not that one, bro. You got to watch you did Christmas Story Christmas. And so I actually texted him. I was like, here you go. Here's the link to it. You need to watch it. So I like that one. And then Gingerdead Man, I still liked it. But I mean, even though it comes in third, I still really liked it.
Rowan, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, they're really hard movies to compare. I think I like Gingerdead Man the most. It's probably what I expected most matched my expectations. I don't know if that's good or bad, but I went in and I got exactly what I thought I was going to get.
Got your money's worth.
Really
Which is free 'cause we watched it on YouTube.
I did not know what I was going to think of the new Christmas Story movie because just rebooting old movies is getting tiresome, right? And I thought the movie was all great. And then the Fat Man, I don't think you can expect anything. It's such a strange movie. And it wasn't a terrible movie. I didn't hate it or anything, but it's the only movie that bored me. I was just bored, and a good chunk of that, about half that movie, I was fairly bored. But it's not a terrible movie. We talked on the podcast. I just think there's so many interesting things they could have done, and I thought they just picked the least interesting, like a little bit of everything, which I didn't find interesting. So, Gingerdead Man, Christmas Story, and then Fat Man. but all were super enjoyable. Like I mean, like I was not disappointed I watched any of these movies.
So I think my pick would be probably Fatman was the most enjoyable for me. Now, I didn't say before doing this little bit here if they could tie. So I'm going to say I have a tie for second. And that's between A Christmas Story Christmas. God, I hate that fucking title. And Gingerdead Man. Now, the reason being, though, is because A Christmas Story Christmas is just the filmmaking is just way better than Gingerdead Man, obviously, right? But Gingerdead Man is just fun. But to me, like if you tried to watch that by yourself, it would not be as fun unless you watched it with friends with some adult beverages, right?
Yep.
So and that's the way that we experienced it between me, Kyle, and Rowan while we were visiting him.
I watched it all by myself, and I will say you're right.
Yeah.
It's one of those movies that you have to watch with other people, I think.
Yeah. I think that elevates it a little bit to be more fun in the environment that you're in. So I'm gonna give like a tie between those two. Now I think if I was gonna rewatch a movie, I would probably rewatch A Christmas Story again. But if I was hanging out with friends and all, I'd be like, "Yo, we gotta watch Gary Busey being this jackass gingerbread man."
Exactly.
You know.
Yeah, for sure.
So I guess it all depends on my mood and the environment that I'm in. So.
That's a good point, right? Because kind of my spectrum is if I'm going to recommend a movie to watch, I'm going to probably pick The Christmas Story Christmas if it's more serious crowd or like a large demographic of people. Or I'm going to go off the other end and I'm going to pick Gingerdead Man. And you're going to get like one of the two. And Fatman for me just kind of sits in the middle of there, where I don't even really know what type of crowd I'd watch it with. It's
got its little niche of like if you're a Mel Gibson fan, then I would think that you would like this. But I mean, for an action Christmas movie, I mean, yeah, I think you're right. It's like it kind of hangs out. It's not really on the top of your list of, oh yeah, I need to show this to somebody.
Yeah,
and it's not on mine either. Yeah, that's not on mine either. I wouldn't be like, oh, you really have to see this. This is the one you have to see if you're gonna watch a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, if you want a Christmas movie with Mel Gibson,
I wonder if it was a victim of I've probably saw more Christmas movies this year, filming with you guys, and then watching other movies related to the ones we watched. So this was probably the 6th or 7th Christmas movie I'd watched in December. I wonder if it was a victim to some of that.
Maybe.
I think if somebody came to me and said, you know, I want to watch Christmas movies, but I'm tired of the same old Christmas movie.
Yeah.
I'd probably say, okay, you know what? You want a whole new take on it? Fatman it is.
Yeah. And that's what I was going to say, John. Like, one of the reasons that I like Fatman is because I'm tired. I like Christmas horror movies, right? But it's all like Santa goes bad. Santa starts killing people, you know, and all that. So that's one of the reasons I kind of like this one is because it takes a genre, you know, bad Santa-ish kind of thing and kind of flips it around. That's the other reason I want to see that other one with David Harbour, Violent Night or whatever.
Oh yeah,
I kind of want to see that too because that makes me think of, you know, like a Santa movie like meets The Ref. You know that Dennis Leary movie, kind of.
I wonder how it's doing.
Yeah, and I was doing the same thing over the weekend. I'm like, you know, I'm gonna watch a Christmas, a bad, not a bad Christmas movie, but like a B Christmas movie, you know, with like a twist, you know, like a different thing. I came across Christmas Twister.
What?
Don't.
Twister.
Just don't.
Christmas Twister?
No.
Is that like?
I mean, you're speaking a language. Give me a synopsis at least.
It's yeah,
Please tell me the tornado was wearing a hat.
No, it was not. It was not.
And like there's gifts in the tornado?
No, none of that. No, not that good.
Oh.
Hey, look, the reindeer's actually flying.
Nope, that same reindeer. No.
Yeah, the synopsis is on Christmas Day, the Texas area to the southwest of Fort Worth is struck by a massive storm system surrounding several severe tornadoes.
Oh, that sounds boring.
That's all it is. Yeah.
It just happens
It,
on Christmas.
It just happens on Christmas, and it's an F6. It's not a
Oh
it's
my
like 300. Yeah,
Love
of
it.
course, it's a
So
320
far, this sounds
mile an hour tornado.
It's
But
an F6.
and it's an interesting F6 because what happens is there's this old dilapidated, kind of like old timey 1950s 60s downtown area that gets hit with it, right? I mean, it's spot on. It's getting hit, and it still stands. But the new shopping mall, that thing is getting ripped up and it's cracked, and I mean, everybody's afraid for their lives. But Old Town,
Yeah, it's
Old
got
Town
some
is spared.
got some subliminal messaging in there that all the new stuff that's built is crap.
It's just a Freemasons propaganda movie, right, John?
They didn't
That's
lay
right.
that cornerstone.
So one
Right,
one of the
right.
as someone who loves disaster movies, I'll admit, like bad disaster movies, they're not good. They're bad disaster movies tend to be really bad. And just is there any like terrible CGI in it? Because a lot of the bad disaster
tornado's
movies have
horrible.
like
I mean, it's you
laugh
compare
out loud
you
bad
compare the
CGI.
tornado. You compare the tornado in Christmas tornado.
Christmas Twister.
Christmas Twister to Twister, and
Oh,
it's
yeah.
it's night and day. I mean, Christmas tornado. Wow, Christmas Twister was made in 2012, and it is not good CGI at all.
2012, huh? So 20
wow.
years ago or 10 years ago, I mean.
10 years ago. Well, I was curious what Violent Night is getting on Rotten Tomatoes. Out of 190 reviews, it's gotten a 73% for the critics, 88% on the audience score. So, I mean, if critics like it, it's definitely not a flop.
Christmas Twister, on the other hand,
Can I just say I clicked on the direct? Sorry, go ahead, John.
1,000 reviews, 3.4 out of 10.
Ooh, on Rotten Tomatoes?
No, this is
It's on
IMDb.
IMDb. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I clicked on the director of Christmas Twister just to see what what is this guy working on? There must be 100 things this guy's done in the last 2 years. I mean, he is just throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks, I think.
Well,
So
and
he has
his
like
own Warner.
So he has
He has
like
his own
Halloween
Warner
Twister and Hanukkah Twister and
4th of July
Oh,
Twister.
yeah, 4th of July Twister.
No, it's all over the map. He co-produced something called Dog Nap Town for the Holidays. I guess we should it's all over the place.
Well, the 4th of July Twister movie really failed over in Great Britain because
Wah wah wah.
Admonish you.
But he's got his own Warner Herzog. He's got Hans Wasserberger
oh god,
as a writer.
Yes.
burger sounds pretty good.
The burger does.
It got a 17%, by the way, on Rotten Tomatoes on the audience score. No critics
Christmas
have.
Twister?
Yeah, no critics
Wait
have
a
actually
second.
critiqued this.
No, he has a very high percentage of his movies are Christmas movies. A very, very high percent. It's bizarre.
It's beginning to look a lot like Murder,
Oh boy.
The Search for Secret Santa. It is. Holy crap.
I mean,
I
He
don't
it's
know
must
how
have
you
a-
find these movies.
crazy how many Christmas movies are on here.
He must have a hatred for Christmas.
He was probably a bad kid and only got coal.
Probably.
I mean,
if you scroll through there, if you start, especially in like 2019 and 18, it is just Christmas Wonderland, Christmas in Royal Fashion, Christmas Made to Order.
And the Christmas edition, The Road Home for Christmas.
He's got a lot of the wrong movies. Like
wrong tutor,
Payday,
wrong.
wrong fiance, wrong Mr. Right, wrong Prince Charming, wrong Valentine. Golly.
Wow.
Yeah, I wonder what it is about Christmas.
That all came out in 2001. I mean, sorry, 2021. That's crazy.
Odd.
Wow.
Well,
Fun little IMDb wormhole.
yeah, exactly.
Right. I don't know how you actually find these movies, John. It's a marvel.
I'll tell you. The Roku channel. I'm a Roku guy, as you know.
Oh, okay.
The Roku channel has an amazing selection of bad movies. And then, of course, you watch one. Because you watch this one, here's some other bad ones you want to watch. So that's how I found that one, because I watched Gingerdead Man.
I think Screenwrite
How's
should
that?
do our own like movie app. It's just that way we can name categories or just be like shitty movies with friends, or
Yes.
Christmas
Oh,
movies.
that's what
One
that
beer
channel is.
movies.
Yeah,
1 drink movies. 2 drink movies. 3
Ooh, I like
like
it.
it.
minimums.
I like it.
The barrier
Um,
to entry for the movies.
On Roku, John, since you like looking through those, Shout TV, I think is the
Shout.
Shout TV. Friend of ours, Justin, he recommended that channel. It's like all the B movies were on that. It's like a
Oh,
subscription
that's
service
right.
too.
Yeah.
Shout Factory
Shout
TV.
TV, yeah.
You mean Shout Factory TV?
I thought it was just Shout TV, but it might be Shout Factory TV. Yeah, that might be it. Yeah, this is it. It's got a lot of B movies, and it's got all the Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Nice. I'll check it out.
A lot of all the backlight. Well, it says Roger Corman. Yeah, if it's got Roger Corman in it, yeah, you got some B movies there.
And we were talking about Puppet Master, a few weeks ago, and so I watched that too over the
Oh
weekend.
God,
The
How'd
original
it
one?
hold up?
Yeah, yeah.
That was your first time watching, right?
No, I know my second, third. No, I enjoyed it. It holds as a good bad movie, I would say. But it's really not. It's really not even a bad movie. It's like it's borderline. Like depending on how you feel about the absurdity of an Egyptian spell bringing puppets to life. Like specifically, the spell brings puppets to life.
yikes!
Yeah, I have to watch it again. I don't remember too much about it. I remember watching it as a little kid and liking it, but well, we need to move on. So we need to talk about the movies that we are going to cover in the month of January, and the first one is going to be the new Will Smith vehicle. It's called Emancipation. It is it's already out, I believe. It's on Apple TV Plus. It looks like it's got a 5.9 out of 10 on IMDb. It's rated R. It's 2 hours and 12 minutes. I don't know. I'm kind of surprised that after the whole Oscar slap debacle that Will Smith found it so quickly to be in a new movie. I thought it would take at least a few years, but
Was
here
this
we
not
are.
in production? Was this not in production during?
I mean, it
I don't
had to have
know.
been in production,
Yeah,
or at least
it
in
probably was.
post.
It wasn't that long ago the Oscar stuff happened. I'd be surprised if they picked him up, casted him, shot the whole movie, and can release it by now.
Well,
Yeah,
it
it was
came out in
probably in
December of this year, so it came out sometime earlier this month.
December 9th.
Yeah, December 9th.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was in production, probably in post when it all happened. So,
And I mean, it's Apple Studios, so they might just say, you know what, if it bombs, it bombs. We had to spend the money.
got to release it.
Yep.
They could have held it for a little bit.
Yeah, they
Maybe that's
could
what
have.
they did. But it's about a runaway slave forges through the swamps of Louisiana on a torturous journey to escape plantation owners that nearly killed him.
Yeah, it might be a hard movie to watch, honestly.
Might be a hard movie to review. Yeah,
Yeah.
Or just a different tone of the review, right? Less,
exactly.
just a more serious, coming a bit more of a serious
Yeah, 'cause you
spin on it.
can't have a whole lot of humor in a movie kind of like this,
Is it
Yeah.
partially black and white, or is it in color?
That's what I'm seeing.
It looks like it's
the
like very desaturated. If it's not black and white,
I mean, the trailer.
that's black and white.
That's okay. Oh, like sepia.
Yeah, it's very, very desaturated. I guess because they're trying to. So that's in color.
Right.
They're trying to. See, that looks black and white.
Yeah. That's definitely black and white.
Yeah.
Well, what's
So I don't
our next movie after that?
So the movie that we're going to be watching after that is Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio.
Not the
which-
Disney one.
Not the Disney one, no. We're going to be
Yeah.
looking at Guillermo del Toro's version.
Yeah. This
Guillermo?
one's
Guillermo,
Guillermo.
if you want to be in the dialect, I guess. Yeah, it's got a 7.8 on IMDb. I'm kind of looking forward to this. I'm a
Yeah.
big Del Toro fan,
Mhm.
so I'll be curious to see how this differs from the normal Pinocchio story, because I'm kind of tired of the regular Pinocchio story. The Disney one is apparently bombing.
Really?
So
Yeah. Yep.
hopefully this one does well. So we'll see. It has it's voiced by Ewan McGregor, David Bradley, Gregory Mann.
Ron Perlman.
Yeah, Ron Perlman's in it.
Oh, David Bradley's Geppetto. I didn't realize that. He's gonna be good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm anticipating this is going to be good. I'm not a big animation guy, but I quickly watched a trailer of this, and I stopped the trailer about halfway through. I was like, I'm sold. I don't need to see
Nice.
anything else.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Del Toro's done an animated or like a stop motion thing before. So I will be curious to know how this pans out. So I am excited to see this a little bit.
I am really interested in seeing it. Yeah.
Yeah, so that'll be the second week of January that we do Del Toro's Pinocchio.
Yeah.
And then the third week of January, we are going to be taking a look at a Netflix movie that just came out called Troll. Why Troll? Why not? I don't know.
It looks good from what I've seen on the previews.
I made a joke and I was muted. Justin said how this
Aw.
pans out, and I said how this pans labyrinths out. I thought it was good enough to stop it.
Waka waka.
Timing is everything.
It really is.
And you missed it.
Yeah. So the Troll movie, like I said, it came out just recently, like a week before this recording here, a week or two. But deep in the Dovre Mountain, I guess that's somewhere up in Norwegian land or whatever. Do you know that mountain well, Kyle?
No, I do
Oh,
not.
okay.
I'm not from there. My ancestors are, but not me.
You don't feel a calling to that mountain?
It's like, oh yes, that's what the mountain name is. No.
Yeah, Dovre, I guess. I don't know. But deep in the Dovre Mountains, something gigantic wakes up after 1,000 years in captivity. The creature destroys everything in its path and quickly approaches Oslo. So it's definitely in Norway. So I don't know if this will be in Norwegian with subtitles or not. I imagine it will.
I don't mind that.
I don't mind that either.
What I noticed, I just finished watching Elves as well on Netflix, and it's a Dutch film. Then what they did is they not only they gave you the option to listen to it in English, so they do a dub if it is.
Okay, yeah, the languages it says Norwegian and English, so I'm wondering if they did an English dub on this.
Do you guys go dubs or do you go captions if you're given the option, or both?
I would much rather do captions,
Yep.
and actually hear the actual actors and actresses' voices.
Yep,
for sure.
I hate English dubs, especially like on the stupid Japanese anime movies where they try to do English dubs on those. It's terrible.
Yeah.
It's like just let me watch it in subtitles and have the original Japanese actors do their lines. But
the only exception is if I'm eating. If I'm eating, I turn the dubs on, so I can
True.
like look down and I don't have to like keep looking
and
That's
still
the only
understand it.
exception. Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. See, the movie's all about the environment.
And speaking of disaster movies, John, if you're looking for disaster movies, same director did The Wave, which is on Netflix. The Wave.
The Wave.
It's a pretty good disaster movie. Also, all takes place in the same. It's like in Norwegian. I don't quite remember where it takes place, but it's.
Sorry, keep going on.
Well, no, it's. I have seen that tile. I saw the tile for years. I finally watched it, and it's quite good.
Something I forgot to mention about Emancipation. The director, his name is Antoine Fouquet. YouTube, I'm not cussing. That's his name.
You already did that.
I know. But no, he directed The Magnificent Seven, and John, you mentioned it earlier. He also did Training Day.
Mhm.
Okay.
But he also did. This dude's done tons of stuff. He did Southpaw, The Equalizer, Olympus Has Fallen. He did Shooter. Shooter's fantastic with Mark Wahlberg. So
it'll be a quality film at least.
yeah, I haven't
He
seen
did.
Olympus Has Fallen. I don't care to see those type of
Hey,
movies.
you're not
I've seen
missing
it.
much.
I don't
Those
think
Yeah,
movies
you're not-
aren't
it's-
good.
Is that the one with who's the president in that one?
Is that the one with Morgan Freeman, or is that,
Is that Morgan
the White
Freeman
House?
or
White
Chris
House Fallen.
I don't remember who
White House Down?
White
the
House.
Gerard Butler though, right? It's
Yeah,
Gerard
both of them are
Butler in those
Gerard
movies?
Butler, I think.
Those movies are not good, man.
Yeah.
Olympus Has
Olympus Has
Fallen.
And it's
Fallen
like
is
it's like his
Aaron
first
Eckhart.
day on the job in the first one of those movies. Like
It's Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman is the president. And
No, Aaron Eckhart is the president.
oh, who's Morgan Freeman in that one then?
I think he was like the old president.
Oh, he's the speaker. He's
Or
Speaker of
is
the
he the
House.
speaker now? Okay.
Yeah, he's Speaker of the House.
Well, who else would you have speaking for you besides Morgan Freeman?
He's a
You know what?
narrator of the house.
Yeah. Once. Oh god, that was a terrible Morgan Freeman. I can't.
Don't even try that again. That's
Get busy
terrible.
living or get busy dying.
Oh boy.
I was trying to think of his. Remember his like series about trying to find God and all his docu-series.
Oh yeah. Oh, it was the back when I was a child
Yeah,
growing
back
up on
when
the
I was a
Mississippi
child.
Delta.
Yeah.
I just know him from going Andy Dufresne.
Oh yeah.
So I'm looking forward to January. Are you guys?
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
am. I'm
Absolutely.
looking forward to it.
I think we got some interesting movies here. Definitely 3 different type movies. So Rowan, you're not gonna have to watch 17 Christmas movies in 1 month. So that's good. So with that, I think we're gonna go ahead and call it here. Make sure you join us each Saturday. That's when we release our reviews. So the first Saturday in January. I don't know the date offhand. I should have looked it
I think
up.
it's the 7th of
The
January.
7th. Okay.
Yep.
So Saturday, January 7th, that will be our first review, and that will be Emancipation, starring Will Smith. So make sure you join us there. And with that, bye everybody.
See ya.
Bye,
See ya.
everybody. Andy Dufresne. I think that was